All right. Thank you for joining me for another reading. This is Evangelist Sharice Stern. And thank you guys for following me. I do have a new TikTok channel. It is at Listen Honey Child. The E's are threes. So if you can break that down, then you'll be able to find me on TikTok, on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It is Listen Honey Child, as well as on Twitch. And of course, the website is www.listenhoneychild.com. So, in this reading, we're going to be looking into the life purpose. Okay, we're going to be looking at the life purpose card. Okay, and see what messages we can gain from that. Remember, what comes up comes out. There's no destination except to the heart of the one that it resonates with. So, ooh, what you worried about? I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Okay. When we worry, and I know that it's hard not to worry. It's hard not to take a situation and mull it over in your mind about 1,000 times to try to figure out what an outcome is going to be. You may believe that worrying about it, not believe that worrying about it, but just as an innate response to crisis and to challenges, we worry instead of waiting, instead of being patient, instead of worshiping through those obstacles. Sometimes we may pick it up and chew on it like a dog with a bone, turning it upside down, breaking it open, nibbling on it, nibbling and niggling at it until we either figure it out, hell, or drive yourself crazy. Most of the time, you're not going to figure it out. When there's something for you, when there is something that you're worrying about, it's usually something that you actually have no control over. It's probably in the hands of someone else or some other entity as far as the outcome. It may be based on what somebody else is going to do. Because see, if it was in your control, you wouldn't be worried about it because you would know exactly what to do with it. But usually worry comes about because it's another person, another thing that has either the control of the outcome or the outcome is dependent on what someone else does. Okay. And that causes us to worry because we don't know. That causes us to worry because we don't know what nobody else gonna do. We don't know anybody else's mind. We don't know if they thinking straight. We don't know if they have all the facts. We don't know if they, would do what we would do in that situation. That's most of the time what causes us to worry because we know and we understand that everybody does not handle situations the same way. And so we end up worrying because we don't know what somebody else is going to do. But we are learning that worrying about something does not change the outcome. The only thing that you can control is yourself. The only thing that you have any say so over, the only thing that you can put into action or to stop from action is the things that are in your hands for you to do, for you to contemplate, for you to execute. And after that, your dealings with it is done. You don't have anything else to do with it after you have played your part. So sometimes I know a lot of us worry, we worry because we don't know what the hell somebody is going to do. So to keep from worrying, it's important to find the humor in the situation. You know, finding the humor to focus on the lighter side of life. Like I said, you don't know what nobody else is going to do. No one else has the benefit of your experience, the benefit of your knowledge, the benefit of your education, so you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know how they were raised. A lot of times it's a person, including yourself, if you were raised in toxicity and betrayal and underhandedness and all of that kind of thing, then you believe that that is how things work themselves out. And sometimes other people will have those other experiences that don't line up with what we know. So we just have to find it funny how certain situations turn out or go down. We have to find the humor in it. Finding the humor in it and seeing the lighter side is you letting go of, you know, letting go of the outcome, detaching from the situation, you know, um, giving it to God, leaving things not leaving things to chance. You're not leaving things to chance in those situations because you've done what you were supposed to do. You've done your part or not, or you chosen not to do anything. Okay. Until the other person or until the other party makes their move. You may decide to chill for 25. You might decide that, this ain't for me to work out, so I give it up. This is not my decision to make. I'm only gonna go with whatever has been done, and I'm gonna do what's best for me. And that's how you find the humor in the situation. Like I said, you find it funny sometimes. You find it funny the way things work out. Ain't it funny? It's a song. Ain't it funny? I'm gonna have to find that song. Ain't it funny? Okay. Yeah. It's funny because you could be dealing with envy on either side. Now, if you're a fully developed and evolved person, then of course you know that you're not the same as everybody, that you don't think the same as everybody, that you are the same. You and y'all are on the same playing field, but everybody deals with things differently. Everybody deals with different challenges. You know, they say, what's that saying? It's more than one way to skin a cat. People have options. People do what they know, and everybody doesn't handle the situations the same. So that's what one reason that you have to remove the worry from the situation because you wouldn't handle a situation the way Sally or Sue or Karen would handle it. Okay, so you can't be mad, you can't be jealous, and you can't be envious about how another person faces the different challenges in their lives. When the idea of work, of getting money, of manifesting your dreams comes about for you think, okay, I'm gonna make a plan, I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna make something pop, I'm gonna open up a business, I'm gonna get another job. That's how you handle your situation. That's how you handle your challenge. Okay, you gotta build this, do whatever the case may be. You work some overtime. You got something you need, you get a second job or a third job. You create another stream of income where you might have another woman who handles her challenges, for instance, financial difficulties, by, that's not the word I'm looking for, but other women, another woman might say, go find a man or somebody else. Put their burdens on somebody else. Go beg and go ask and go plead, go, doing things like that, you know, trying to work that situation. And you don't judge and you don't be envious either, because I know sometimes, you'll see the sisters sitting around talking about one of them that are one of those ladies or whatever that will, rather handle her problems by, getting a sugar daddy, okay, by, doing whatever it is that women do, that do that. That's not, that may not be how you handle it, but that may be for how she handled it. That may be how she was taught to handle it. That may be how her mama handled things, okay, by selling her body, by asking a man for something, by, going to the pawn shop, go, going to take out a loan or whatever the case may be, in as opposed to, you know, taking up another job or finding another source of income or something like that. People just handle things differently. So just like, you know, those people shouldn't be jealous or envious of you because because you able to manifest money, because you're able to pick up another stream of income when the time comes. You also can't be upset with them if they know how to go. I know women that know how to ask for what they want. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with asking a man or a woman or whoever it is that you're gonna ask for anything. If you know how to do it, hey, that means that you're just a great communicator, a great salesperson, or whatever the case may be. And that's just how you handle the situation, you know. So we don't, be jealous or envious of each other just because, we have different ways to secure the things that we need to have secured. Okay. All right, balance. Come on. Balance. Yes, honey. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world and I do so without judgment. So even if you don't handle your problems and your challenges and your situations the way other people would handle that, you know, then you see the balance, really the universal, the cosmic balance. Okay, there's a cosmic balance. That's why there's in the tarot deck, even still, there's four queens because there's four ways. There's not just four, but the way the thing we deal with elements, we deal with love, we deal with money, we deal with communication and mental emotions and things like that. And some of them are apt to be stronger in one area than the other. But you learn how to balance those things out. You balance those things out without judgment. You don't look upon yourself as being better than another woman. You're not better than that other woman just because she was able to go and get a man to handle her business for her. Or just because she was able to open her mouth and get fed. Okay. Whereas you had to go out and work for yours and all that kind of stuff. I know y'all have heard those conversations, okay? Where women will sit up and judge another woman just because of the way that she chooses to get her issues and challenges met. Okay. We will say, oh, she went and she just, did that, the other. She asked Sugar Daddy, Papa, whatever the case may be, and he pay all her bills and he buy her cars and buy her clothes. That can go into some, a real good state of jealousy for a woman like that, a woman that would do that. But you know what? Um, there's no judgment. There's no judgment for that. You applaud her for having what it takes to get a man to do things for her. You applaud her. Hey, you know what? If you can find a man that's got deep pockets and he can help take care of you and do the things that you need to have done for yourself, More power to you. I'm not able to do that, but I don't put myself down or judge myself for not doing that. It's just not in me to do it. It's just not in me to ask a man to do anything or a woman or whomever. I ask my mama or my daddy, but anybody else, but I don't judge another woman who does that because that's what she do. That's what she was taught, and she learned it, and she made it. She anything like the women I know, she learned it very well, and she learned it well enough to bring balance to her life, so that she don't have to worry, and that so she don't have to be jealous of another woman and the way another woman gets her challenges met. Okay. Now, the way you do things, yes, the way we do things, we'll probably end up a little lonely, but we embrace the loneliness. You know that you're never alone. You know that the Holy Spirit is always with you, talking to you, abiding with you as you abide in Him. You know, so that there's things that you just won't do. You like I said, it's not a place of judgment. It's not a place of judgment. There's something that you won't do for love or money. Okay, that's fine. That's you. Okay, but there's some things that another woman will do for love and will do for money, to where she does not end up alone. At least in that sense, you know what I'm saying? So you've learned how to deal with the loneliness. You've learned how to deal with the fact that you might be alone sometimes, as far as physically, as far as not sharing space with another human being. But you are all right with that, because you know that you're not really ever alone, and you know that because you're taking worry out of the situation, you're taking envy out of the situation, things like that. You know that you have the patience to allow things to manifest themselves the way that they should manifest, so that way you don't end up in a situation, being in a relationship with somebody, and still and yet being lonely. Okay. I don't know if y'all know how that feels, but I do. Okay. So you understand, you learn how to deal with the alone factor, with the fact that you may have to spend some time alone with yourself, with your own thoughts, with your own situation. Okay. Until the strength in you has been built up to be able to share your space with another person. Okay. Oh, relationships. Okay, this came out in the last reading. So new relationships are forming for you. Okay. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. You know that new relationships are forming even after and during that time of loneliness. Okay. You know that even that you physically you're spending time alone, but because you are cultivating these new relationships, partnerships, okay, situationships, whatever that is that you're forming, whether it's business, friendships, lovers, whatever the case may be, because you were willing to spend the time alone that you needed in order to strengthen yourself, so that you would show up right in a relationship, because you've already showed up wrong. Okay. You've already showed up in a relationship to where you did not contribute equally, or where there was no equal give and take. You've already showed up in relationships to where it was one sided. You've already showed up in relationships with a cheater, okay, with an infidel, with someone who does not have your best interest in mind. And it was those relationships that you had to cut off, which produced that period of loneliness. Okay. But it was during that period of loneliness that you were able to reflect and to evaluate yourself. Okay. And evaluate how you showed up in those relationships as to why they didn't work. You did not put the blame on other person. You did not judge the other person for how you showed up in the relationship. That's what the loneliness is for. That's what the alone times are for, so that you can hermit, so that you can go within, so that you can examine and evaluate yourself and evaluate what you bring to the table. Evaluate your cup, okay? Sometimes we always trying to look and see what's in somebody else's cup, but we really need to take and turn it around and go looking and see what's in my cup. What am I bringing to the table? What we sipping on? What kind of Kool-Aid? What kind of wine? What kind of cup of tea am I pouring into this situation to make it a viable situation? Because a lot of times we miss the mark. A lot of times in relationships we miss the part. A lot of times our higher self or our lower self may be it's our lower self is attracted to a toxic person's higher self. If you anything like me, you need to be entertained. And one thing that a toxic person can do is clown. Okay? A toxic person will clown, baby. They will let me entertain you. Okay, it's a whole Ringling, Bud Brothers, Barnum, Bailey, Cirque du Soleil, Ringmaster. He got folks jumping through hoops, taming tigers and lions, got people walking the tightrope. Okay, so it's through those relationships, where we figure out and we learn, how did I show up? Was I part of the circus? Okay. Was I doing tumbling acts through the circus? Was I one of those ones that was just there to entertain myself or somebody else? Because a lot of times you can be in a relationship where you're only there, you're only entertainment, you're entertainment, you're something to do. Okay. And you know that. You realize that that's your position. You realize that that's who you are, but you still do it. Even if it's nothing, what, for the fun of it, for the hell of it, for whatever the case may be. When we realize and we go through those lonely periods to understand how we are showing up in different relationships, then that helps us take that lonely time and that lonely place to heal and to bring about a higher vibing individual for within ourselves. Okay. All right, so my battery is just about going out. I've only got 8%, so I do need to go somewhere and get myself charged up and plugged up. But we're gonna definitely continue this at a later time because I'm kind of getting on a roll with this. I'm really loving the environment out here. I'm really loving, my ability to chill, to be out. Y'all know I love the outdoors. Y'all know I love the sun and the rain, and I love the dirt and the rocks and the trees and the grass and the weeds and the bugs. Okay, so, but I'll be right back once I get everything charged up. So hold that thought.